If you're not happy with the prices at your fuel pump, just go buy a Tesla. Unfortunately, the average income of a person that owns a Tesla is above $100,000 a year. It's probably more than that now because of inflation. Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've often said that when things start turning south, like really bad, that it's going to start outside of the borders of the United States mainly, and then it's going to migrate into our borders. The reason for that is because, in my opinion, of course, we hold the world reserve currency. However, that world reserve currency, the US dollar, is getting weaker every day. And here, the Eurozone is experiencing the same pain that we are going to experience here, but at a greater level. It's starting outside of our borders, and it will end up here as well. We will be the last ones to fall. But when we fall, it'll be a great fall. So we have to understand what's going on in order that we can better prepare for what's coming. And here it says the Eurozone inflation hits yet another record high as food and energy prices soar. And ladies and gentlemen, energy is everything. Food is energy. When people have low blood sugar, why is it that they have low blood sugar? Like if you've been outside working all day and haven't kept your electrolytes up, you feel weak. Why? Because you need energy. You need food. Energy is food. Food is energy. And with the policies that are being rammed down our throats with this clean energy thing, it's going to cost us an awful lot. And it's not only going to cost us at the grocery store or at the register. So less energy, less food, less humans. Think about it. I'm going to show you also here through a couple other articles that I have to share with you really quickly, okay? That this has been planned. The thing is that it is you and I, ladies and gentlemen. It is the average person that is paying the price. While these criminals who pass these laws and regulations and mandates, they are not affected one bit. Well, here it says that the Eurozone inflation came in at 8.1% for the month, which is huge. According to preliminary figures, up from April's record high of 7.4%. That's almost a full percentage point in 1 month, ladies and gentlemen. That is huge. They say that rising prices have exacerbated over recent months by the war in Ukraine, particularly food and energy costs. With this, I would agree with the Eurozone because they depend so much on the Russian oil and gas that it is affecting how much it costs for them to be able to manufacture, produce food, etc. Inflation, which means persistently high, not just in Europe, but also in the UK, US, and beyond, is causing headaches for central banks, which are also balancing the risk of recession. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let them fool you. This is a wet dream for central bankers and for governments. What's happening right now has all been planned. They've been wanting a crisis like this to take place for a long time. It just happens that now is the right opportunity for not only the central banks, for not only governments, but also for the World Economic Forum, for the World Health Organization, all of these places that want to take over the world. This is the perfect time for them not to let a crisis go to waste. I've told you often that one of the things that will strip us most of our liberties is going to be a CBDC. And I just want to show you this article that I pulled up right here. And I believe that this meeting took place in Davos. MasterCard CEO says SWIFT payment system may be replaced by CBDCs in 5 years, by 2027. I've been hearing that number often. The year 2027. Not sure why, but I've been hearing that number often. And here it says, there has been a long list of revelations coming out of the recent World Economic Forum meeting in Davos. But one issue that might have gone under the media's radar involves comments by MasterCard CEO during a discussion on the future of cross-border payments between nations. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to read this whole article, but check this out. For those of you that don't know what the SWIFT system is, it is the system, it's like the highway that is used around the world to put money in to send it from nation to nation, right? That's the SWIFT system, right? Who controls the SWIFT system? Pretty much mainly the United States, right? Now that the United States sees that people or countries are swaying away from the dollar and doing more bilateral trading, what they want to do is they want to take over the SWIFT system with CBDCs. They want to enable CBDCs from countries to get on the SWIFT system so that it can be a more seamless transaction. Well, if the US still controls the SWIFT system and people or countries that have CBDCs want to use that system, the US will still be pretty much in charge because they can still kick people out, or country. I keep saying people, but it's really countries. They can keep kicking countries out of the SWIFT system and sanctioning them. Same thing they're doing now, pretty much holding the same power that they're holding now. However, the big problem with this CBDC is that it is what is called programmable money. What is programmable money? Programmable money is money that will be issued to you by a CBDC, a centrally banked digital currency. It will be issued to you by a central bank, not even by the Treasury, by the central bank. And they'll be able to program that money as to what you can buy with it, when you can buy with it, how much of it you can buy with it. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you're an old kook like this guy right here that gets on the internet and says, hey, I really don't like that government is doing this, I really don't like this or that, they can just press a button and say, hey, guess what? You are now demonetized. You now don't exist in the economy because you cannot trade with your CBDC. That is their final goal, is to be able to disarm us, number one, and to be able to completely take control of our sovereignty by telling us what we can and can't buy. This person here says that we need more inflation. We need to print more money because we need to provide this for free and that for free and that for free. And we need to tax the big oil companies because they are profiting too much and all this stuff. But we're going to go ahead and read each one of this person's posts here, and then I'll give you a little bit of a kickback on what they're saying here. First one, big oil companies are making out like bandits. Our plan would crack down on their price gouging, tax their windfall profits, and send 4 rebate checks a year to American consumers. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen when these big companies that provide us with the energy that we need, what's going to happen when they just say, it's not worth it, I'm not going to drill anymore? Take a look at all of these other socialist countries. And people may say, well, the government's not taking over the production of the oil. No. But take a look at the other socialist countries. They made doing business impossible in their countries, and now companies just left and said, we can't even make a profit here. Who here works for free? Who that's watching this video works for free? Nobody, ladies and gentlemen. No one works for free. Remember, it's all about energy. Even if you work and don't get paid, you didn't work for free. It cost you the energy that you put forth to do that job. Nobody works for free. So they're going to tax these companies out of existence. But why? Well, ladies and gentlemen, remember, they want to get rid of fossil fuels. Why not tax the big oil companies out of existence so that we'll have that much less fossil fuels available to power our lives? I love solar panels. I love solar panels. The bunker's being powered right now by solar panels, but I have had to convert back to the grid a few times because we didn't have enough sun. There is no way that we will be able to power our entire nation, and I'm talking about the U.S., on solar panels and on windmills. There's no way. And if we do, catastrophe will happen. Take a look at all the weather events. All right, take a look at all the things that are going on in the world. What if we have hurricanes? What if we have tornadoes? What if we have earthquakes? At the very minimum, we can work on alternative energies as a supplement to the energy that we are having now, just like I am. I am supplementing my grid energy with my solar panels. So I'm saving a little bit of money by using the sun, but whenever I can't use the sun because it's not available, I revert back to the grid. But they just want to take it all away. They want to make it disappear. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because it is you that will be under their control. Once they get rid of energy, fossil fuels, once they get rid of money or fiat currency that you can actually hold and revert to a CBDC, once they get rid of people's guns, which they never will, but let's say they did, they have 100% full control over the people, and that is exactly what they are after. Here she says, on my first day as president, I will sign an executive order that puts a total moratorium on all new fossil fuel leases for drilling offshore and on public lands, and I will ban fracking everywhere. Well, how's that working out, ladies and gentlemen? How's that working out? Because that's what this president did. Are you happy with your prices at the fuel pump? All right. Oh, just go buy a Tesla. If you're not happy with the prices at your fuel pump, just go buy a Tesla. Unfortunately, the average income of a person that owns a Tesla is above $100,000 a year. It's probably more than that now because of inflation. As a country, we shouldn't crush people with debt for trying to build a better future. They are crushing us with debt, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever heard the term projection? That's exactly what this is. The government is crushing us with debt. People are out there living on credit cards because of the policies of the government. She continues, technical schools, community colleges, and public universities should be tuition free. Who is going to pay for it if it's tuition free? Who is going to pay for it? This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Before we started having government backed student loans, before that, a certificate or a university diploma used to mean something, because people had to go and pay for it out of their pockets or borrow money that wasn't backed by anyone, that wasn't guaranteed by anyone. They had to go and pay for it out of their pockets mainly, and they were able to because tuition prices were not that high. So their certificates actually meant something. Why? Because not everyone had one. But now when the government starts subsidizing or backing up all of these loans that people get, it's a lot easier for them to get the loan, and many times they don't even have a plan on how they're going to pay that loan back. So now you have a whole bunch of people going to college, getting into debt, because the government's allowing them to do it very easily, coming out of college with degrees that aren't worth anything. And even those that come out of college with degrees that are worth something, it's still harder or more difficult for them to get a job because there's so many other that are coming out with that same degree. It's just basic economics. The more of something that there is, the less that is worth. So the more diplomas that you have, the less that those diplomas are worth, the less that people are going to pay you to come work for them. So if you had 5 engineers graduating out of Harvard, let's just say Harvard. If you had 5 engineers graduating out of Harvard, right? And there was I don't know, 10 places offering engineering jobs. Do you think that those 5 engineers would be offered less or more than if there were 1,000 engineers? Think about it. Do you think that they would be offered less or more than if there were 1,000 engineers graduating with them at the same time? Same thing. It's just basic mathematics. And here's another one. Let's take this vision nationwide with my plan for universal childcare and pre-K. Again, who is going to pay for it? The government doesn't produce a thing. Everything that she's talking about here is taking from someone and giving to someone else who did not earn that. Let people make their own money by staying out of their way and allowing them to have the freedom to be entrepreneurs, allowing them to have the freedom to pay for their own education instead of you taking the money from someone else to pay it for them and then them ending up with an education or a diploma that's worth nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all a plan. It is just a way to destroy America from within. This is a quote from the President of the United States. When it comes to the gas prices, we are going through an incredible transition that is taking place that, God willing, when it's over, will be stronger, and the world will be stronger and less reliant on fossil fuels when this is over. He said it was a mistake, since although running prices for fossil fuel generated energy higher has always been part of the plan for their Green New Deal's energy policies. Admitting it out loud in public was not supposed to be a part of the messaging. Ladies and gentlemen, I talked about this a while back, that their goal is to get gasoline prices to about $13 a gallon. And I heard here through another YouTuber, I forget who it was, that gas pumps were being recalibrated to accept double-digit dollar numbers. So like instead of $5.60 to be able to make it $10 and above. Well, that's part of their Green New Deal. Part of their Green New Deal is to try to get you into so much pain that you'll give up fossil fuels for an electric car. And then down the line, guess what's going to happen to the price of electricity? It is a way to obstruct your mobility. Down the line, when we have nothing but electric cars with an aging electrical grid that's always failing now that we don't have electric cars on it, guess what? That's when the brownouts will come. That's when the blackouts will come. And your ability to move from A to B will be restricted. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got something out of this. All you can do is prepare. That's all you can do. All you can do is continue to prepare for whatever may come. Because what's coming down the road is not really that great, you know, when you think about it. But we can all be thankful to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. Always be thankful. And let me end it with this, because I just love that Brad from Full Spectrum Survival says this. Remember to work, all right? Make sure that you get out there every day and do your work. And then make sure that you do some prepping. But always remember to have some fun. Have some fun with your family. Spend time with your family and friends. Because that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. We will get through this, but it's just going to be a really hard fight. You know, I've been screaming about this for years. And everything is manifesting itself into reality. I'm not happy about that. But I am kind of glad that I've been screaming about it for years. Because hopefully those of you that have been listening, not only to me, but to other channels that have been screaming just as loud, hopefully those of you that have listened are pretty well prepared. And for those of you that are just starting out in your preparedness journey, remember that it's not for nothing, and you are going to need your preps. So continue doing it a little bit at a time, right? Do your payday preps and just keep doing it slow and steady. All right, ladies and gentlemen, because there will be another side to all of this craziness. Having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.
Hello everyone. I have here today in order to ask you one simple question. All the crazy things going on in the world, if something bad happens, if something does not go your way, and it becomes too much to take, tell me, what are you gonna do?
What you gonna do if the lights go out? If the bars on your phone go down? What you gonna do when the food in your fridge runs out? What you gonna do? Alaska Prepper has got the measure to help you make it through December. Help you prepare no matter the weather. What you gonna do?